Calvin Russell's announcing his commitment decision next week, July 5th. Every time I open Twitter, there's a new tweet about this kid, something about his recruitment. So very excited to actually watch him. 6'5", 195, Miami Northwestern, obviously in Miami, Florida, who are coached by Teddy Bridgewater. So look for him on the sideline. I tried to look for him before, but it's kind of tough with the footage to actually spot him, but Calvin Russell, if he was on the sideline, he'd probably take a couple seconds to spot because of how friggin' big he is. But yeah, in the meantime, you guys let me know what you think about Calvin Russell. Anybody else in this 2026 class you want me to watch? I'm also starting to fill out my 27 board, so if there's anybody that's a bit underrated or that hasn't been talked about in the mainstream, I guess not the mainstream media, we're not watching this on CNN, but that 24/7 on 3, the mainstream media to me. King Cold cares if don't nobody else care. Yeah, so I got to tell you, I've already watched this kid's film and feel like I'm in a good spot to kind of narrate it as we go here. For 6'5", this kid is crazy light on his feet. When we talk about these athletes that are 6'5", a lot of them fall into the... If you watch the kid that just committed to Florida the other day, it was actually like a week ago, Marquez Daniel. 6'5", just naturally you're going to dominate physically. There's no 6'5" corners in the country, right? Really, everybody that's that long usually plays on the defensive line. So you watch a kid like Marquez Daniel, he does a great job of using that size to his advantage, but there's kind of question marks. Is there anything else he can do? Absolutely not a concern with Calvin Russell because this kid is a hell of a route runner. I mean, really, even if he was 6 foot, we'd be talking about him being very explosive. We'd be talking about him being very sudden. Like this almost looks like a slot receiver route here. Just watch how quick this. I don't know if this is like a slant. Not a big fan of the release. That's not what I'm trying to highlight on this play specifically. But watch this plant right now. And then watch him just extend for the ball here. So at 6'5", we're going to be talking about massive catch radius. It really helps the quarterback so much. So you don't have to get as open. Like usually that's what I'd be talking about. What I talk about with these kids when they're this big is like they don't really have to be as great of a route runner because they don't have to be as open because the quarterback doesn't have to necessarily hit them on the money because they're so long. If you're doing that and getting open, very dangerous, and not too many 6'5" receivers you'll see in the country get end arounds. Here's catch radius stuff again. It's awful throw by the quarterback, but it's still a 3rd and 10, still a first down. Maybe an inch short, but another thing that you won't see, that won't be highlighted, that you don't really see fans get all excited about stock blocking and blocking on the perimeter, but you need to have this aspect in your game to see the field. And at 6'5", he's, like I said, going to dominate physically a lot of corners he's facing. And I'm not really getting excited about the crack blocking. Yeah, that's an aspect, but when we start getting this kid on the sled, then it's time to get excited. There we go. That's what King Cold wanted to see right there. That's a great way to end this video. So, pretty easy to see why this kid's so touted and so wanted the way he is, because I don't think you're really going to see... I'm not sure I've ever seen a kid as light on his feet at 6'5". And there's a lot of issues that come with being that tall, and I don't think I saw a single one of them. I didn't worry about him, about his flexibility. Didn't really worry about any of that stuff. But you guys let me know what you think about Calvin Russell, and thanks for watching.